This presentation will guide you through emergency procedures that are important to know as a collegiate fellow. After this presentation, you will complete a short quiz about its contents. All information can also be found in the Collegiate Fellow Manual located on Moodle. By the end of this session, you should be able to identify potential emergency situations, articulate how to respond in emergencies, and articulate ways to minimize potential emergencies. Being prepared for an emergency is one of the most important things we can do. Since we don't know when an emergency will happen, the time to know what to do is now. An emergency is defined by dictionary.com as a serious, unexpected, and often dangerous situation requiring immediate action. Take a moment to think about some potential emergency situations you might come across. In this presentation, the specific emergencies we will cover are medical situations, environmental and building hazards, fire, weather, violent behaviors, weapons, and bomb threats. First, let's talk about medical situations. The first type of medical situation that we'll talk about is an individual incident. Individual incidents include medical emergencies that are related to one individual student. This might include situations such as a student who has fallen and hit their head, cardiac arrest or heart attack, seizures, someone who is unconscious, or broken limbs. If you become aware of an individual medical emergency, call Campus Safety immediately at 507-933-8888. Do not touch or move the person unless instructed by medical professionals. Send a bystander to wait by the entrance of a building to assist medical professionals. This person can help flag down emergency response vehicles, let them into the building, and direct them to the location of the emergency. Another type of medical situation would be a pandemic. This could include the outbreak of a disease or virus, such as the measles, mumps, or a new strain of the flu. If you hear of a potential outbreak of a disease or virus, share this information with your supervisor. Keep yourself safe and healthy by minimizing your exposure and washing your hands. Follow instructions from your supervisor, health service, or another professional staff member. Next, we'll talk about environmental and building emergencies. These might include things such as power outages, broken glass, pipe leaks, mold, gas leaks, bed bugs, trip hazards, or ice. If you encounter a facilities emergency during the regular business hours, call physical plant to report the emergency. If you encounter these emergencies during the evening or weekend hours, call Campus Safety. Minimize risk to others in the surrounding area. This may mean putting up an out-of-order sign or knocking on doors of affected rooms. Report any building or environmental emergencies that happen in the res halls to the Res Life Pro staff. If there is no immediate follow-up that is needed, you can email your area coordinator or put it in the duty log. These might be situations such as broken glass that is already cleaned up or a power outage that is quickly resolved. If the situation does need immediate follow-up, call the Res Life Pro staff on duty. These situations might include bed bugs, leaks, mold, or anything that directly affects a student's room. Fire is another emergency that can happen in our halls. Remember to treat every fire alarm as though there is an actual fire. If you see fire, pull the nearest alarm. Leave the building immediately and encourage others to do so as you are on your way. Once you are safely outside, call Campus Safety. If there is an actual fire, call the Res Life Pro staff on call. If there is an alarm but no fire, you can email your area coordinator. Encourage residents to gather in your building's specific gathering area. You should go to your CF gathering area. and follow instructions from campus safety or any other professional staff who are there. Both the locations for resident gathering areas and the CF gathering area can be found in the CF manual online. This short video is a mock burn of a dorm room from Texas A&M University. It shows 2 rooms being burned, one with a sprinkler system and one without. Know that all of Gustavus's residence halls and apartments have sprinkler systems installed that will activate in a fire.
If y'all can see the screen, you'll notice one says unsealing, unpillow. That's the unsprinkled side. The one that has the SP is the sprinkled ceiling, and the sprinkled pillow is where these little thermocouples are.
It's not a gimmick, it's not rigged. There's no gasoline, there's no diesel fuel.
Anybody see smoke? I can smell it. Okay. Got a little extra wind going that you wouldn't have in your apartment. So that'll be something that's a little different for them. So you still have ample time to get out at this point. So we're at the 2-minute, 20-second mark. So right now they should have had the lights on in the fire station already. By the time they ask you who you are, where you are, what's going on, they're already coming, all right? They're getting in their trucks here anytime. And we're gonna see what it looks like at the 5-minute mark here. So can y'all see the temperatures over there? The top 2, it says unsealing, unpillow. That's the temperature at the ceiling. What's it at? About 460, 465, and it's at 103 at the pillow. All right, so anything much over 100 degrees, you're not gonna wanna be there very long. So we're rolling up on the 5-minute mark. We're gonna wait till the 6-minute mark at least for these guys to get their hoses and stuff off their truck. Because the fire truck should be pulling up and setting the brakes out front right now. 700 degrees. It's actually 822 now at the ceiling. This is what we call rollover right here. You see everything smoking on the corners of the bed and everything? This is what we're fixing to get. It's what's called flashover. All right? So now we're at 6:15. At 6:30, I'll let them put it out. Because now they're coming up the hallway. They're seeing stuff going on. Now we have almost complete flashover from ceiling to floor. All right, you want to see our guys put it out? All right, guys, let's go on the attack. Let's put it out and show them what it does. You'll see they work real closely with putting a little bit of water in there, and just a little bit of water goes a long way. Because when they're inside fighting fire, if they put water in the right place, that smoke, y'all notice, went from black to like white gray just almost instantly, right? That tells us that they put water in the right place. And let's see what the timing is and what the temperature gets to on the ceiling over here. Most of the residential sprinkler systems that are in there, if it has the little red glass thing in it, it's going to go off at about 135 degrees.
117 on the ceiling.
117 at the ceiling. 130. It's coming up pretty quick. So here, anytime, there it went. So at 54 seconds, it already has it knocked down so you can escape. You could actually still be in your bed and this thing would go off and wake you up. So it means you're going to get really wet if you want to hang out in there.
Got a lot of water damage, but we didn't hardly burn anything. And if y'all didn't look at this real closely earlier, we actually burned this one last year. But that tells you how well the sprinkler systems work. but it does detect heat, so we can see once we get in the room with you, we can see where you are.
Lawrence, get that up here. That's why you pull that out. Put your purse out.
Again, treat every fire alarm you hear as though it is a real fire. Gustavus is susceptible to many types of weather emergencies. Know that Gustavus is located in Nicollet County, but we are relatively close to Le Sueur and Blue Earth counties. When a weather event is a watch, it means the conditions are right for the event. When a weather event is a warning, it means that the event has been cited. Again, a watch means it could happen, and a warning means it's happening. Tornadoes can hit campus in the spring and summertime. In 1998, an F3 tornado caused $60 million of damage to the Gustavus community and over $120 million of damage to the St. Peter community. If a tornado warning is issued, the City of St. Peter will sound tornado sirens. Know that the City of St. Peter tests the sirens on the first Wednesday of every month at 1 p.m. Please note that sirens are intended to be heard from outdoors, so you may not be able to hear them in a campus building. If you hear the sirens, seek shelter in the lowest level of the building, away from doors and windows. Encourage residents to move to your building's shelter location. Monitor the conditions through an AM radio station or weather app. Do not leave the shelter area until the warning expires. Use this slide to find your building's safe tornado shelters. There are times when winter weather is incredibly severe, such as during a blizzard or extreme cold. If this happens, encourage residents to stay inside as much as possible. If someone must go outside, encourage proper, warm clothing. Keep windows fully closed and locked to avoid and prevent pipes bursting. Follow all instructions from campus officials regarding campus closings. Next, we'll focus on people exhibiting violent behaviors. These behaviors may include individuals acting erratically, aggressively, and/or utilizing weapons. If you find yourself experiencing someone who is exhibiting violent behaviors, remove yourself from the situation immediately. If there's an active shooter, leave the building if possible. Safely assist others in removing themselves if possible. Notify anyone you encounter as you leave not to enter the area. Call campus safety or 911 depending on the situation. If the person is acting erratically but isolated and unable to harm others, call campus safety. If there is a physical threat, such as an active shooter, call 911. If there is an active shooter situation and you cannot leave the building, go to the nearest room or office. Close and lock the door if possible. If not possible, barricade the door with furniture or other heavy items. Cover any windows that might be on the door. Stay quiet, silence cell phones, and pretend no one is in the room. Do not open the door for anyone. Call 911 and give them your location. Wait for the police to come and assist you. This video from California State University can be difficult to watch, as it covers a difficult topic of active shooters on a college campus. However, it gives a strong overview of the run, hide, fight principles you should utilize if you encounter an active shooter.
This may be the most important video you will ever watch. We hope not, because for that to come true, you would have to be involved in an active shooter incident. While the likelihood of finding yourself in an active shooter incident is small, the risk is real, and these situations are happening with increasing frequency on college campuses and elsewhere. Our objective is to help put you in control of the outcome. Everything we discuss in this video can be summed up in 3 words: run, hide, fight. But first, what is an active shooter? An active shooter is someone with a gun attempting to kill people in a confined, populated area. For you, that means someone with a gun on campus who wants to kill. The purpose of this video is to give you the tools and confidence necessary to survive an active shooter attack. How will you know when an active shooter attack is underway? Know that gunshots don't always sound like they do in movies. If it sounds like a gun, or even firecrackers, consider that it may be an attack. Do not wait for confirmation. Do not seek a second opinion. If it sounds like gunfire, it's gunfire. The same goes for screaming. While screaming doesn't always indicate danger, it may be a reaction to something terrible. Keep in mind that police are minutes away, not seconds. You must fend for yourself during this time. You cannot wait for the police to arrive. You cannot wait to act. If you are inside a building, use any way out available, including emergency doors and windows. Keep closed signs don't matter now. All options are available to you. Always be aware of your surroundings. Identify your options and make a plan. By the time an attack begins, you should already know where to run. Look for exits now, so you won't have to during an attack. When the time comes to run, leave everything behind except your phone. Everything. Just thinking about what to bring is time wasted. The most valuable thing you have is you. Grab yourself and go. Get yourself to a safe place. If you are outside, run away from the attack sounds. Don't stop running until you are certain you are away from danger and in a safe area. When running, try to make yourself a more difficult target. It might be slower, but it could be safer. Don't turn around to see what's happening behind you. It is unlikely that the shooter is chasing you, but either way, slowing down to look for the shooter is not a smart strategy. Once you are out of immediate danger, dial 911. Tell the dispatcher there is an active shooter and your location. Do not assume someone else has already called 911. Yours could be the one call that saves lives. If you think it's too risky to leave your current location, hide. Active shooters seek easy targets, so don't be an easy target. It's that simple. An ideal hiding place would be a room with no windows and a locking door, but that option might not be available when the time comes. Turn off lights and shut the blinds. Make it look like the room is unoccupied. Even partial darkness helps. Choose cover over concealment whenever possible. Concealment is something like an office partition. It will hide you from sight, but it will not stop a bullet. Cover is something that will do both. Heavy wooden doors, file cabinets full of paper, and objects of this type should always be your first choice. If possible, barricade doors behind you even if locked, but try not to make unnecessary noise in the process. Be silent. Turn your phone to silent. Disappear. Shooters don't waste time exploring rooms that look unoccupied, trying to break down locked doors, or searching for hiding students. Once hidden, be prepared to stay hidden a long time. Stay calm and be patient. It may take a while, but the police will eventually find you and lead you away from danger. Again, the time to look for places to hide is not after the shooting has begun. It is now. Wherever you are on campus, be aware of your surroundings and ask yourself, where could I hide if it happens? What are my options? Does this classroom have a closet? Does the door lock? What could I use to barricade the door? If no other option is available, defend yourself. You might not think of yourself as a fighter, but others just like you have surprised themselves with how effective they can be when fighting back was the best option for survival. The attacker has at least one weapon, and you do too. Look around. Chairs, textbooks, backpacks, rocks, pens. You have more options than you probably thought. One readily available weapon is a fire extinguisher. You will find them in nearly every hallway. You also have surprise on your side. The attacker is not expecting armed resistance until police arrive. This is your advantage. When you fight back, your goal is to overwhelm the attacker and minimize their ability to use weapons effectively by limiting their vision or physically disabling them. And with others nearby, weakening the attacker will give them confidence to join the fight. Lastly, when you fight back, don't stop too soon. Fight until the threat is over. The number one job of the police is to stop the attack. This means they are totally focused on neutralizing the shooter. Keep in mind that active shooters look like anyone else, even students like you. So when you exit a building, raise your hands to show the police that you aren't holding any weapons. You don't want to be mistaken for the attacker. Remember, just as you are afraid, the police are on edge too. They need to be ready to take immediate and decisive action. So your behavior is critical. Hands in the air. Avoid sudden movements. Obey police direction. The police will shout orders. They don't have time for courtesy. They must act quickly and forcefully. Do what they say for everyone's benefit. Like we said, the police are there to stop the attack. Once that job is done, they will turn to helping. Let's talk about helping others. This may be the most difficult decision of your life, but the best thing that you can do may be just to run and get help. Remember, most active shooter incidents begin unexpectedly and end quickly. Help is on the way. If you can remember run, hide, fight, you have the most important knowledge needed to survive an active shooter attack. Familiarize yourself with your environment. Plan ahead. If you are prepared, you will be able to run, hide, and fight without hesitation and with confidence. Please share this video, not only with your fellow students, but with family and friends. The active shooter threat is not limited to your campus, or to any public place for that matter. This could be the most important video you ever share. Thank you for watching.
If you encounter any weapons on campus, call campus safety immediately. Stay in a safe location and wait for campus safety to arrive. If needed, follow the violent behaviors protocol. Do not touch any weapons that you may find, even if they are unoccupied. The final emergency we will cover in this presentation is a bomb threat. In the unlikely occurrence that you receive information about a bomb threat, remain calm and gather as much information as possible, such as the time and location of the threat. If you received the threat via email, do not forward it or turn off your computer. Call campus safety immediately. If the threat came in as a call, use a different phone than from where the call came. Share as much information as possible with campus safety, and await further instruction from campus safety and/or the police. If you are ever not sure what to do in an emergency situation, or if a situation is an emergency, please contact someone. Campus safety and the Res Life Pro staff are resources for you in emergency situations. We would rather get a call and have it be nothing than have something major happen and not know about it. Your role is to contact someone. We will take it from there. To stay up to date on campus emergencies, make sure your emergency contact information is updated. This is located in your Gustavus user account. Gustavus will send texts and phone calls during a campus emergency or when communication is imperative. It is important to minimize any potential emergencies that may arise. Be aware of your surroundings. Whether you are on duty or not, be alert when walking through your building communities and anywhere on campus. Report any suspicious or concerning behaviors. If you notice a resident exhibiting behaviors that are unsettling, let your supervisor know. Know what to do. As stated in the beginning, being prepared is one of the most important things we can do for an emergency. If you ever have a question or concern about an emergency or a protocol, utilize these resources. Again, we would rather get a call and have it be nothing than the opposite. Thank you for watching this presentation on emergency procedures and response. If you have further questions, refer to the emergencies section of the online manual and/or talk to a member of the professional staff.